Story that we really cannot wait to give you this report later on our news bulletin. We just have to analyze this here and of course give you also the ample opportunity to react on the other side. I know that it's something very unconventional from what we do here on the Media Extra show, especially at this hour, but not to worry, it's going to be fine because we just know how to do it the best way. Now this is a developing story that says the FCTA issues 3-month ultimatum to developers. Yes, FCTA issues 3-month ultimatum to developers, and this story is one big story, and that is why we cannot wait for what you think that is the appropriate moment or the right moment for it, because with us every moment is right so long as we're doing the right thing for you. And to also talk about this with me here and with you on the other side, I have someone. I'm trying hard not to say someone that is always difficult to see him in the afternoon. If I see him now, he'll come in the night, that everybody is honorable. Maybe he wants to make everyone honorable today. But, well, that was just an lighter note. I have here with me, if you are live on our Facebook and our YouTube, you definitely know who I'm talking about already. Or if you are an honorable member, you already know who I'm trying to say the person is. But, well, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to use that to introduce to you Honorable Ape de Great.
Anyways,
I brought you out in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, it's
see how
fine.
powerful I am, you guys.
Yeah,
I'm so
you're a powerful lady. No doubt, you're actually a very powerful lady. Well, it feels good to be here this time, and hey guys, I hope you guys are good. You can watch us live on our social media platforms, just like she did say. And for us to talk about this afternoon, trust us that it's because it's very important.
Yes.
For some of us who might not be directly affected by this, but somehow, some way, it affects all of us. Because we know that FCT was at some point very, very hot. To the point that some persons began to even run out of the FCT. Thank God for the guys, talking about the SIS guys, who took it upon themselves, and they were able to a very large extent push the criminals out of the FCT. And this is more like a base for this particular decision. So I'll allow Cassie to explain in detail so that you know what we are indeed talking about this afternoon.
Yes, and just like you heard him say, the fact that it is a security report, yes, because there is a reason as to why the FCT has given this ultimatum, or a reason the FCT has given this ultimatum to owners of undeveloped properties. Yes, the emphasis is on undeveloped properties. So let's dig into the body of the story. The Federal Capital Territory Administration has issued a 3-month ultimatum to owners of undeveloped properties in the Federal Capital City to develop their buildings or face demolition. Now, in a document signed by the coordinator of the Abuja Municipal Management Council, Felix Obua, and made available to the media Monday night, the FCTA explained that the ultimatum followed a rise in the number of shanties and illegal structures across the FCC. Now, Obua highlighted that these underdeveloped buildings served as hideouts for men of questionable character, posing a security threat or risk to residents. He warned that failure to develop the properties within the stipulated period would result in the revocation of land titles and the demolition of such structures. Now, this is the bone of contention at the moment. The FCTA is threatening that if anybody that owns a land and has not developed it, leaving an uncompleted building, yes, they are going to demolish it after 3 months if they do not continue development on that particular uncompleted building. So this is the big story today, because of the fact that they have analyzed some of the security challenges, just like you said, the fact that some of these buildings have become hideouts, or basically a place to harbor criminals, where a lot of atrocities are being committed here in the city center. And that is why the FCTA beginning to speak up that if you do not complete these buildings, we're going to take them down. Do you really think that this is the way to go, or it's just going to be more like a policy statement and nothing is going to be done even after the 3 months?
Well, I think it's all about the political will. But if you ask from my own personal opinion, I feel that it's a move in the right direction.
Okay.
Reason being that some of these guys, they just buy the land, they keep it, they preserve it, waiting for the land to become worth billions and trillions of naira. You understand?
Okay.
And they are not making. Abuja has a master plan, and for Christ's sake, if we indeed believe that Abuja is a federal capital territory, we should follow the master plan. And when Wike came on board, this is not the first time, although they are very plain now that they are saying they are giving 3 months ultimatum. But we've heard before now instances where the FCTA issued threats to landowners, house owners, property owners who failed to complete their project.
Okay.
They've warned on several occasions that please complete this building. In fact, at some point they said, if you know you cannot complete it, just sell it out. Sell it out. But then Nigeria is a country that when the policy makers, when they roll out policies, they most times find it very difficult to match it with action. So but then for now that they have come out to say, okay, we are issuing 3 months, is it 3 months?
Yeah, 3 months ultimatum.
3 months ultimatum for those who own properties that are undeveloped to quickly develop them or risk revocation. Let us pray it works. Don't also forget that most of these they are talking about, although we have some in places where people of we don't have middle class people now, we have just the rich and the poor. Yes, obviously.
But then tables.
But no, that's just the truth.
Yeah.
But then most of these houses or properties, like as you want to call them, they are owned by the high and the mighty.
Yes.
Now, revocation simply means that you are collecting back the titles,
they
right?
Are no longer the owners.
They are no longer the owners. But the question is, can you really step on these toes? I saw, on the news some time ago where the FCTA issued threats to the likes of Akume, Gbajabiamila, and some host of other big shots. So, can they really step on these big toes? Because indeed, the owners of some of these properties are big names. Okay? They are big names. So can you really step on them? But if you can, of course, it's fantastic. Because it will tell others that if you know you are not ready to build yet, there are places where you should buy land. If you want to buy land now from land sellers, they ask, is it the one you want to build immediately or you want to buy and keep? We have the buy and keep lands. We have the ready-to-use land. So if you are going for the ready-to-use, you should be ready to build the land and not just keep an uncompleted building that will now become a safe haven for criminals in the FCTA.
And that is where the problem lies. The fact that some of these uncompleted buildings have become a safe haven for criminals, criminal activities. You see that a lot of criminal activities are being carried out, from rape to armed robbery. Sometimes these guys will hide there, so when people are passing, they just come out, jump out from it, and then pickpocket or snatch, even at gunpoint, knife point. So many things that are happening. Well, like you mentioned earlier, that the statements have never been the problem in Nigeria. Saying that we would do this has never been the problem. If we were going by we would do this, we would do this,
we would have done a whole lot.
Nigeria would have been Eduardo.
Yeah.
But we still have a lot of work to do when it comes to walking the talk, when it comes to matching our statements with action, because this is ordinarily a very good directive, if you would ask me, because I feel like it's supposed to engineer some form of action from those that own these properties. But like you said, they are owned by the high and the mighty. The same people who are likely
the policy makers
that know the people who know those that are making these policies making the statement. So are they going to sideline their friends and put the interest of the country at heart? Is this a right step in the right direction? But we are not going to be having this conversation alone. You also have the ample opportunity to join us on the other side. Call us now and let's hear from you. Do you think that the FCTA is doing this in the right direction? Do you think it's something that is going to see the light of the day? Let's hear your opinion, basically, or what you suggest that should be done. 09073530044 or send us a message on WhatsApp 09097054450. Do you think that the FCTA is taking the right step in the right direction? Do you think that this is going to help to nip in the bud the rate of crime, especially here in the FCT? Or do you think that this is just a mere statement that is not going to be matched with action? We do not know it all, and that is why we want to know from you what you think the ordinary man would have to speak at this point, because every policy, at the end of the day, we are the end beneficiaries of every policy that the government makes. So we want to hear from you today, 09073530044, or send us a message on WhatsApp 09097054450.
You are about to experience orgasm. On the Eagles 102.3.
Clients for your business and service and get your phones buzzing. From the 1st of September to the 31st of December, you can advertise and reach a large audience with the Eagles FM Ember Months package. Advertise on any of our platforms and get a whopping 30% discount. That's right, 30% discount. For more information, please call 080-5919-8658. 080-5919-8658 or 081-5791-7278. 081-5791-7278. The Eagles FM 102.3 FM Ember package is a sure way to getting a wider clientele for your business and service.
Wale pẹ̀lú ṣéǹjì ẹ̀mí òní ṣéǹjì o. Mo ní ìdájí jẹ́ sàláwà kó tó gbà wá ká o, máa gbà wá ká o. Wale pẹ̀lú ṣéǹjì ẹ̀mí tí sọ́ọ̀kì mi, wale pẹ̀lú ṣéǹjì ẹ̀ o.
Oga driver, make we dey go now. You just dey waste person time.
Oga, you dey hurry o. I be Opeke dey wait for you for house. Kai wallahi.
If I hear Opeke, I beg you. Me, I wan listen to Gidigba Assembly. If I miss 1 second, checking it like this, it dey pain me well.
Yes, so my people, make una take care, join Honorable Ambassador Apedi Great every weekday 7 p.m. on top Gidigba Assembly for Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja, for where you go take take get the latest story for the country and beyond. Make una no miss am o.
Competitions? They don't exist. With Eagles, you soar.
Any money where I get, I dey flex, I dey go, the best.
My dream is shopping with you in Montego.
Eagles 102.3 FM, your radio experience you can count on.
Your radio experience that you can always count on. Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, and this is the Midday Extra Show. Yes, a very unconventional episode of the Midday Extra Show, because so many things have been happening, and I know that you on the other side, you've been wondering what's happening. But wow, like I said, like I will always say, variety is the spice of life. So allow us sometimes to tilt things a little bit. And today we have a development story that really cannot wait, and that is why we are bringing this update to you. And somehow we want to hear from you what you think about this directive from the FCTA. The FCTA has issued an ultimatum, a 3-month ultimatum to property owners in Abuja who have failed to develop their properties over the years. Some people have started building, maybe to lintel level, and have abandoned it. Some people have even roofed but have not gone back to maybe put concrete, tiles, and everything. And the buildings are still very much uncompleted, and somehow these buildings have become very comfortable hideouts for criminal elements to perpetuate crime here in the FCT, putting residents in harm's way. And that is why the FCT has decided to give this ultimatum to owners of these undeveloped properties to develop their buildings or face demolition. And the big question today is, do you think that this is the right step in the right direction? Let's hear from you this afternoon right here on the Media Extra Show. And remember that I have an August visitor talking about Honorable Ape the Great. He's here with me, and we have been trying to shed light on this, put it side by side, and you are going to join us now. Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon, how are you?
Very well, thank you. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm Garba from Mekano.
All right, please tune down the volume on your radio set.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, do that and go ahead.
All right. To me, that one is the FCA is doing the right thing. So why? Because as you talk, I'm from Studio. Some criminals are hiding over all those incompleted buildings.
Okay.
Yeah, that is my own opinion.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much, Garuba. Well, Garuba believes that criminals are hiding in most of these buildings. And Kazi, if you check some of these buildings, you discover that some of them, they started building these structures as far back as 10, 15 years ago.
Over a decade, yeah.
So you begin to ask, what happened along the way? Although some of these some of these actions are not intentional. Let it not be like we say it's a must that you should start a building, you must finish it. Sometimes you might just run into challenges along the way.
Yes.
For example, if you don't have enough funds to finish up the building, there's nothing you can do. But then sometimes you don't have a choice. It is better you sell off these structures, go get a land somewhere else, and erect buildings or structures that you can actually handle.
Yes.
We know of lands that they bought so many years ago, they just allowed these lands to still exist without building on the lands or even selling the lands to those who are ready to erect something on this land. And over the years, some of these places have turned shanties, and some of them, it might even shock you that some of the kidnappers will think they are in the bushes. Some of them will feel maybe they are in different forests and all. Some of them will kidnap. They will just make you turn.
Yes.
They will go through the forest, and later in the night they will come back.
Yes.
So you will not know that some of these buildings harbor more than just your day-to-day robbers or phone snatchers. Some of them harbor very strong kidnappers in the FCT. So I feel that it's a right decision if only they can match their words with action.
Well, I think that concerning this report, X is buzzing. Yes, we have some comments from Nigerians. Trust them to always have mixed reactions, because what you see as white, there will always be a black, there will always be a red.
Of course,
there will always
opinions.
So let's pick some of the comments, even though some of them do not look actually very good. Seems like everyone is angry at this point. But let's pick this one. This one is from Hami's Bishop, a verified Hami. He says this is absurd and ridiculous because not every landowner has the money to develop their property. Not every landowner has the money to develop their property, but you have a property. Well, that's what verified Hami thinks. And this person is Vivian Umokoro. She says, will the government give them money to develop it? Will the government give them money to develop it? That's another angle. Is there going to be a form of subsidy for these people so that they can hasten up these buildings, especially for those that have at least tried to an extent? Is there going to be some
to react to that, particular that particular comment. Now, it's unfortunate that Nigeria is not. I wouldn't want to say it's not a working society. We are working. We are trying our best.
A work in progress.
Yes, but then in some other climes, you discover that if you have a land, you can get a mortgage. All right. Yes, where you can complete whatever structure you want to erect on that land. You know, they are going to give you what you need to finish up that building. And in the end, you begin to pay. In some cases, you might even pay for as long as 20, 30 years. You know, even though, if not even more.
Yes.
But in Nigeria, we don't have such facilities. They have such facilities, but then
maybe not accessible to the right people.
It's not too accessible, and not everyone knows about it.
Yes, the
and
information
that is also a wake-up call for some of these financial institutions that render such services to come on air and explain themselves. Talk to people, explain some of the services you render, because some places they render these services, but people are not even aware. All right, people feel that it's only loans they give, and they give something beyond loan. Because if you want someone to give you money to finish up a building, I feel that is beyond normal regular loan. So I feel that they can come on air, not just on radio, use social media or whatever platform you can use to explain to Nigerians, I render this service, come. And it doesn't even require so much from you. Okay. So I feel that if we get to that level, people will find it very easy to buy land and at the same time build, on those lands. Then for the person that said that not everyone has the money to finish up, I'm not saying that. If you remember, I said something like that. But trust me, it's more like if you have a car at this period where we buy fuel for over 1,000 naira, right?
Yes.
If you know you cannot maintain that kind of car anymore, you sell it off. Then get a car that you can maintain. Yes.
Someone will say that we keep adjusting, that if you push Nigerians to the wall, they will push till they find gold.
That is just the bitter truth, because there's absolutely nothing you can do. Hence, you cannot do anything. Why not just adapt? You understand? So if you know you have a land, and because FCT will not wait for you, that is just the truth. It's the truth, though very bitter. FCT will not wait for you. Okay, it will not wait for you. FCT will keep moving. So if they need to move, and maybe because you have properties, what have you, and it's not moving according to plan, they will leave you behind, man. So sell off your property, go get yourself a land where you know you can actually build. And before you know it, you have a house.
Well, I think that since this directive is coming from the government, I think that the institution, you mentioned mortgage, and the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria came to mind, FMBN came to my mind, because I think over time they have been financing construction of affordable housing. And thank goodness that even the administration of President Bola Tinubu has been trying to see how they can project this whole affordable housing thing with the launch of over 3,000 units here in Abuja. So why not reach out to some of these property owners that have these properties and they cannot develop them, come to a common front, maybe liaise with the FMBN and see how the FMBN can finance some of these, and then maybe that way some parts of maybe some blocks of the property, maybe depending on the structure that is there, then the FMBN takes part, the owner takes part. I don't know, but I'm just seeing a possibility of some form of a partnership there to enable some of these property owners to complete these buildings, because there is a very serious concern that is being raised by the FCTA. As much as some people may say it's in a short notice, other people may say the FCTA is not considering the fact that times are hard. I think that we have an institution that should be responsible for that, and that is where I think that the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria can actually come in to see how they can finance this, even if it's a partnership. Maybe they can do it, and then they can benefit for some time. Maybe after they are done, they give it out for rent. Maybe like for 10 or 5 to 10 years or 5 to 8 years, and then the owners take it back. Yes, if it's something like that, instead of just saying, okay, these people should just complete, you have to complete it. No. If it doesn't, Where are they going to start from? Even though we know that in building, once you have the money, it doesn't take construction, it doesn't take time. It's your money that moves your construction. But the money is not there. People do not have that money. But
and again, most of these houses they are talking about, have it in your mind that most of these houses, most
just
of these
a way
buildings,
to. Am I thinking? Is it
you
what
understand?
I'm thinking? Some of, want to say?
You understand?
A way to hide away from certain things. Just they bury the money there. Just
you understand? So some of them, when they even erected those structures, trust me, they didn't need it.
Even till now, they don't
they
because
don't
they have numerous.
And
I don't even think that these people cannot afford to complete this house.
They can. That is why I'm not of the opinion that. Now, it's unfortunate. Maybe some persons are not too happy with the government. And that is why, because this is coming from the government, they want to see it from the other angle.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
But you and I know, if we want to be sincere, that most of these buildings are not owned by people like you and I. All right? Now, you hardly hear government going into places like, the suburbs or places that are affordable. Places that are very affordable.
Yes.
They hardly go into such places to say you must finish it or else. No, they're talking about highbrow areas. And to them, these structures, aside the fact that they are safe havens for criminals, they are in some ways, defacing the city centers.
Yes.
Okay? Now, some of these buildings are not owned by the ordinary Nigerian. They are owned by the high and the mighty. Some of them built these houses when they had so much and they didn't want to keep so much in their accounts.
Or to bring unnecessary attention.
And they just erect buildings here and there, buy buildings here and there. See, it will shock you that some of these guys don't even know they own those buildings.
They're forgotten about it.
It's just the bitter truth.
It's very, that over time, Abuja has had a reputation of unoccupied houses.
Yeah.
There are a lot of unoccupied houses.
It will continue.
It's quite contradictory that every day people are looking for where to put up. Every day people are looking to even find a house in this Abuja is by connection. And if you take a survey, you will discover that there are a lot of unoccupied houses. Nobody is there. The only thing is basically the war geckos and possibly someone that
go to some empty estates.
You just see that there is nobody and the houses are fine.
Fine houses.
And built. Wow,
can you pay for them? That is the question. You see, that is why I said some of these guys, they don't even need these buildings. Because we know people that own estates. People can't pay for these estates, yet they don't care. Like, okay, for example, if I say pay 5 million, pay 10 million, and people can't pay. If I indeed need this money, I should be able to calm down a bit. All right, let's do 8 million, right?
Yes.
And people will pay. I'm telling you, some of these estates, because people can't afford them, that is the reason why some of these estates are empty. It's not that people don't want to live there,
but they cannot afford.
But they can't. So some of these estates you just see only gate men, and that is why.
And war geckos.
Yeah, war geckos and the abokis, they are the ones chilling. It will shock you where some of these guys live.
I learned that sometimes they even make an arrangement, a deal with some people. You rent it, then when a guy is coming, you
go to Gwarimpa. That happens a lot. Seriously, it's not a secret. You understand?
Sometimes they rent the gate man house. They say it's gate man house.
Many years ago, many years ago, I used to have a friend who stayed in Gwarimpa then.
Okay.
He just got married that time, and they were looking for at least a two-sh apartment because the mother of the bride was coming at that point, and he used to be very smart though. He got in touch with this man who gave him an apartment and said, okay, just live here until Oga comes.
So imagine that Oga's now coming and you're not ready.
The day they packed out.
Oh my goodness.
They packed out without notice. Like, they just called them that, look, Oga is in the country. And Oga will be in Abuja any moment from now. Please, I don't want him to come to this house. Not that Oga has only this house, but Oga might just.
Oga is not aware of this arrangement.
So they had to move. And he called me. We had to start running around to see how we could just, get a place for them to stay for like a week first.
Until Oga goes.
Not even until Oga
So
goes.
that
To look
means
for
they
another
were to
apartment.
leave the house.
You have to. But the money you will pay.
It's not be refunded.
No, it won't. But then you might be lucky.
That
Oga might not even come for like 2-3 years.
Yes, so you can stay.
You can stay. So a house that ordinarily should be going for like 2.5. So a gate man might just give you for 300k. You understand? To the gate man is good money.
Yes.
And to you, it's good deal.
It's a good deal.
You
Just
understand?
that you are going to have some form of chest pain.
You just
in case
have
they
to.
tell you that Oga is coming.
No, it's not for the soft-hearted anyways.
Anyway, let's see some of the comments. Okay, this one is at Anonymously Anonymous. What a name. He or she says, this is totally out of it. With the present outrageous price of commodities, it's even hard to survive this economy. And the FCT minister is coming out with this statement. It's a better idea for the Senate to look on it and revert the other. And this one is at Dave 186435857. What a username.
What a username.
He says, but they should give out loans for such activities, and I hope it's not for political gain. If not, then it's a good suggestion, although a time frame of 3 months is a no. And this one is prime candidate at Alparani 28. He or she says the Federal Capital Territory should be developed, not underdeveloped. If you want to buy land and keep, go to the outskirts or bypass.
Simple. It's fact.
So you have no business building the city center. I mean, buying property in the city center and not developing it. You just buy land and keep it.
Abuja will not wait for you.
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 It's true.
Abuja has to move on.
Abuja has to move.
Abuja
cannot wait for you.
Anyway, this one is at Vibes and Cloud. He or she says, in this economy, you want to usurp people's lands because they can barely afford to feed. Talk more of build houses. You know what? I totally support it. Take it all and give it to wealthy senators until people decide to take back their country. Do whatever you please. Wow.
And like I said, most of these properties are even owned by these guys he's talking about.
So some persons are already insinuating that this might be more of a political thing. You know Nigerians, even if it's white, they will always see a black in it. They will always find something that is blue in that white.
Although you can't rule out that possibility.
Yes, because I see some of the comments insinuating that it could be because of some political fracas that might be going underneath that we don't have an idea about. Well, this person is at Godwin sent to. He or she he says, in fact, take it all. People can't even feed themselves these days, and you guys are here talking about completing building projects. How and where are they going to get the money from? One thing is certain, no one is going to leave this earth with a cobble. You guys should continue. Very thought-provoking, honorable. Very thought-provoking. Anyway, this one is at Narrowscope. She says he says it's a normal thing to evolve infrastructural development even when citizens are loitering to catch up with the development. The government has every right to provide durable amenities while the people have their rights too. But the system we entrenched has made it chaotic. What do you think about this comment?
Well, I think it all boils down to the system. Just like we said, if it were to be in a place where the system is absolutely working, this thing would be very seamless. It's not something that people should even worry about.
Yes.
You give mortgage and people collect to build their houses, and within how many years they pay it off. So it's something that. Then another thing again, I feel that the 3 months might be very short, but then let's not also forget that this whole thing didn't start yesterday. In fact, ever since Wike came in, the speed with which he took off, I never knew we'll still have uncompleted buildings
in the
FCT. Because I remember then, he was always warning. In fact, it got to some point where he started demolishing some places.
Yes.
So I never knew we'll still be here talking about uncompleted buildings. So let people not begin to make it sound as if the government started giving out this notice yesterday. And once again, people should know that these same properties they are talking about are not owned by poor Nigerians. Any Nigerian that be able to afford a property around Wuse axis, around Metama or one of these city centers, any part of the city center at all, that person is not a poor man. It's the truth. You understand? That is just the bitter truth.
Okay.
That person is not a poor man. And again, let us also look at another angle to this.
Okay.
The security angle. Should we, because people own properties that they don't want to complete, and allow criminals, criminal activities to thrive in the FCT? If the FCT is FCT, then we should take care of the FCT. If indeed we call it the FCT, we should take care of it. I'm not saying that they must, or it's a good, fantastic idea, but let us see how we can do our best possible to, finish our property or our buildings. If we want to build a house,
Yes.
gather enough money, finish it up, and don't allow the government to come for you. Especially if it's in the city center.
Okay, because like you said, Abuja will not wait.
Abuja definitely will not wait for you.
Abuja will not wait for
No.
anyone. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this segment right here. Unfortunately, this is where we get to draw the curtains, because we have actually brought this to you, and now you know that an ultimatum has been given to property owners to develop their properties within 3 months or stand to lose it. Well, the conversation doesn't end here. Remember that we are live on all of our social media platforms right here, Eagles FM Abuja. Go on there, engage us, like all of our content, drop your comments. Don't just let it stop here on radio. Engage us, tell us what you think about this particular policy that the government is about to implement. Let's know your thoughts, and always keep listening to Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. I am Cassandra Yunumbe. Bye for now.